Sairam students, how are you? Hope all of you are doing fine. Let's go ahead with our geography lesson today. Now, before we go ahead with our geography lesson today, let's have a recap of the very first lesson which you had done. Yes, of geography. That was how seasons occur, part 1. Isn't it? So that you had learned in the beginning of the first term. Fine. Now, what are we going to learn is the second part of the same lesson, that is chapter 8, How Seasons Occur, part 2. Okay. Now, what did we learn in our first part? Yes, in our first part, we have already learned that the earth revolves around the sun. Yes, we already learned that the earth revolves around the sun. The sun is the center of the solar system, and then we have 8 planets who are revolving around the sun in their own orbit. Fine. So the earth revolves around the sun. It takes 365 days for the earth to complete one revolution around the sun. Isn't it? So that when the earth is revolving around the sun, it takes 365 days, that is 1 year, to complete one revolution around the sun. Now, when the earth is revolving around the sun, at the same time it is rotating around itself. The earth rotates around itself by revolving around the sun. Now, when it is rotating and at the same time revolving around the sun, because of this, we get day and night, isn't it? Some parts experience day, some part experience night. For example, now if it is daytime in India, some other part it will be night where the sunlight is not falling the opposite side, isn't it? So that is what happens because of the rotation and the revolution of the sun. Now, the sun, we are talking about the sun, the center of the solar system. Now, we are going to learn about what happens or what are the movements, the apparent movements of the sun. The apparent movement of the sun. Now, what does this mean? Let's see. You must have realized that the position of the sun at sunrise appears to change on the horizon every day. Its position appears to move towards the north or south in the course of a year. So within a certain period of time, it appears, okay, its position appears to move towards the north, and the later part and some other time it appears to move towards the south, this during the course, during the period of the year. Why does this happen? In reality, the sun does not move anywhere. Yes, the sun does not move. The earth is revolving around the sun. So we feel that the sun is moving either towards the north or either towards the south. Okay. So that is why this movement of the sun towards the north or the south in a year is called apparent movement of the sun. Okay. So when we see the movement of the sun, the position of the sun, it either moves towards the north or towards the south over a period of the year. But in actually reality, the sun is not moving anyway, does not move anyway. So that is why this movement which we see of the sun, either towards the north or towards the south in a year, is called as the apparent movement of the sun. Fine, let's see what else we have. Okay, now when the position of the rising sun keeps on moving towards the south in the period from 21st June to 22nd December, this period is called Dakshinayan. Yes, so what is this period called? See over here, we have when it moves from 21st June to 22nd December, it's called as Dakshinayan when it moves towards the south. Yes, so the position of the rising sun, yes, the position of the rising sun when it keeps moving towards the south from the period 21st June to 22nd December, this period is called the Dakshinayan period. Fine. Next, let's go ahead. From 22nd December to 21st June, the sun keeps moving towards the north. This period is called Uttarayan. Yes, this period is called Uttarayan. Which period? From 22nd December to 21st June, it moves towards the north and it is called as Uttarayan. Yes, so Dakshinayan means south. We know Purva, Paschim, Uttar, Dakshin. So Purva is east, Paschim is west, Uttar is north, and Dakshin is south. So when it is moving towards the south, it is Dakshinayan. When it is moving towards the north, it is Uttarayan. Yes. So from 22nd December to 21st June, when the sun keeps moving towards the north, this period is called as the Uttarayan. Yes. So let's make it clear. From the period of from 21st June to 22nd December, when the sun moves towards the south, this period is called a Dakshinayan. And from 22nd December to 21st June, when the sun keeps moving towards the north, it is called as Uttarayan. Yes, Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. Fine. I hope this is clear to you, children. Okay. So this is the apparent movement of the sun. It appears to us that the sun is moving either towards the north or towards the south. So when it is moving towards the north, it is Uttarayan, and when it's moving towards the south, it is Dakshinayan. So this happens in a course of the year. When we talk about the course of the year, the course of the year is 21st June to 22nd December, that is Dakshinayan, and 22nd December to 21st June, that is Uttarayan. That period of time of the year. Okay, let's go ahead. The revolution of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth are the two factors responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. Now, what are the two factors which are responsible for the apparent movement of the sun? Is the revolution of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth. Yes, so these are the two factors which are responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. Isn't so? Which are the two factors responsible for the apparent movement of the sun? One, we have already learned that the earth revolves around the sun. Yes, so revolution of the earth and the tilted axis. We have already learned that the axis of the earth is tilted. Yes, so the tilted axis of the earth and the revolution of the earth around the sun, these are the two factors responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. Let's go ahead. Seasons occur with reference to the northern and southern hemisphere. We are learning the lesson how seasons occur. Yes. So how do these seasons occur? The seasons occur with reference to the northern and southern hemisphere, because when we, that is why we learned Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, the movement of the earth, sorry, the movement of the sun towards the north and the south. So that that is also a factor which is important for the seasons to take place in the southern and the northern hemisphere. So you will see how those seasons, we have learned the zones also. Yes, we have the temperate zones, the tropical zone, the frigid zone. So you have it from the equator towards the north pole and from the equator towards the south pole. You don't have it from east to west, isn't it? So you have it latitude wise, not longitude wise. So similarly, the seasons also, yes, seasons occur with reference to the northern and southern hemisphere. You must have also learned that towards the places towards the equator, over there the climate is very hot. Yes, it is very hot because to the near the equator the direct sunlight is there. Yes, and towards the north pole and the south poles, because of it, it's tilted axis of the earth, you have the frigid zone over there. It's the polar zones where it's all over the year it is frozen, isn't it? So that is the reason why we have seasons with reference to the northern and the southern hemispheres. Yes, so that's what are these seasons, how do these seasons occur, and all this we are going to learn in this lesson itself. Okay, so today what we have learned about the apparent movement of the sun. What is this apparent movement of the sun? Over a period of, we must have observed that the sun moves towards, changes its position. Yes, during the rising sun changes its position. Yes, actually the sun is not moving anywhere. It is because the earth is revolving, so it seems that the sun is moving. Fine. Now the period, okay, when the sun moves towards the south from 21st June to 22nd December, this period is called Dakshinayan. And from 22nd December to 21st June, when the sun moves towards the north, that is called Uttarayan. Yes, so I think this is clear. What is Dakshinayan and what is Uttarayan is clear to you, children. Fine. Next, we learned the two factors which are responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. The two factors which are responsible for the apparent movement of the sun is there on the slide over here itself. The revolution of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth. Yes, and we also learned that seasons occur with reference to the northern and the southern hemispheres. I hope this is clear to you. I hope this is clear to you, children. Yes, fine. So we will be learning in a second part as the other part of this lesson. So I hope whatever we have learned today is clear to you. Yes, because this is important. If you understand this, you will understand the latter part of the lesson. Fine. So today we have learned Uttarayan, Dakshinayan, and also the factors responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. In a second part, we'll continue with this lesson, chapter 8, how seasons occur, part 2. So till then, stay safe, be happy, and have a good day. Saidam, children.